All right. So you guys accomplished something that was, I'm sure was a goal at the beginning of the season, but it was kind of weird. Like, USC had it, and then you guys somehow ended up with it. How'd you guys find out about that at the end of the meet for the Big Ten championship?
I mean, yeah, it was. We weren't sure what was going on. We saw the protest, or not the protest flags. We just saw the flags go up during the meet, so we didn't know what happened. We didn't know who was involved with it because we weren't in that heat. And yeah, then you know, just the way it came together and the way it sorted out, we ended up getting the W.
Who do you think was the ultimate deciding factor in getting that team title at least on the men's side?
It was everybody. Honestly, the entire championships for men and women between I think the administration, the logistics, our staff, getting the athletes ready, the travel, everything that we did to get everybody there, healthy, rested, and prepared for a Big Ten championship. And then the athletes just stepping up and performing the way they did. I think that's what the victory was all about. And it wasn't any one single person. It was a complete team effort, both for men and women. And it always is in a conference championship like that. That's what it's always going to be. The team is really. I think we took 26 and 25 athletes to it on both squads, and that's when you take a squad that big. Everyone has to do their part in order to win, because I think we were talking earlier, we all start from zero. We all start at 0 points, and we have to put the points on the board in order to win.
What has Matthew done to put himself in a position to be a Big Ten champion and make an NCAA indoor championship meet?
Yeah, his development has just been steady over the years. He's gotten better and better every single year. He's learning how to race. Like, his execution of racing is getting better, and that's something you learn over time just by experience, being in more races and more competitive championship efforts like that. Again, his fitness is high, and he's a talented and gifted athlete, but I think the experience he's been getting through racing has really been helping his probably his development in making finals and placing well in finals, and obviously winning the Big Ten championships was a big step towards that, because I'm sure as you looked at the descending order list from the Big Ten, there's a lot of Big Ten athletes in the national meet for 800 meters, and he came out on top at the last championship. So it was great racing by him.
Are those tactics the hardest things to figure out when you join a college program, with good times and fast times, to figure out actually then how to race and not just race fast?
Yeah, for sure. I think in high school, I think young athletes who are as good as Maddie is coming out of high school, I think they're used to being in the front of every single race and kind of controlling it the way they could with their effort. Now you come to college and everybody can do what you can do. So it takes a little while to learn, or better. So everyone takes a while to learn. It takes them a while to learn how to develop and to put themselves in the right places at the right time.
Not to go too far ahead, but you guys have a big home season at Hayward. How advantageous is that for you guys to have Big Tens here, NCAAs here, and then 4 home meets?
Yeah, nothing more exciting than having championship meets here at Hayward. So obviously we're really happy about that. We have our usual 2 meets, which is the preview and the twilight meet. We've added a team invitational this year, which should be a lot of fun, just to get a few teams on campus here, and we'll do a little team scoring, which is something I think our athletes always like to do, just be a part of the environment of working together and being a team. And then obviously Big Ten championships and NCAAs. I mean, 2 of the biggest and best championships that you could possibly host, and we get them both in the same year. It should be a lot of fun.
With all these collegiate records that have gone down this year, what event has surprised you the most?
Wow. I mean, you know what? The times are so fast with everything that the performances to qualify for the national championships is, the level's just so high right now. I don't know if I could pick one event. They're all just, you have to be a great athlete to go to the national meet today. You have to be able to perform at a certain level, and there's no easy road in.
And I can't remember if 10 years ago, were you at Wisconsin 10 years ago? Or
I was not. No. Nope.
So
yeah, longer.
What do you, I guess, if I know you were coaching pros, but do you remember the 2015 meet and what it took kind of to get in there? Or
I don't even remember the 2015 meet, but we were laughing about it, probably a few weeks ago. We were saying, remember when it took 4 minutes? If you could break 4 minutes in the mile, you were guaranteed to go to nationals. And now we had a guy at 3:54:21 and he's not in. So it's a little bit of a shock. But the level's high, and everyone is. I mean, it's super competitive, and that's what you want, though. That's what you want a national championship to be.
As the coach, how do you coach these kids with like a mental aspect when you're saying it? Like, yes, you are supremely physically talented, but you have to be locked in up here. How do you do that?
Yeah, we talk about that all the time. That's just kind of race strategy, you know. And you can watch video. There's examples of great racing and terrible racing, almost at every championship meet, and that's the best part about the NCAA's or the Big Ten conference meet. There's no times don't matter. You can throw times out. You have to have a certain level of running ability for sure, or jumping ability or throwing ability. But at the end of the day, it's just raw competition against the people you're competing against. And so there's just ways you can sort that out and just know your competition and watch other championship efforts and learn from what you've done in the past and what you've done well and what you haven't done so well.
What did you see from Kadali over the weekend in his first championship meet?
Yeah. Kadali, he's a great talent. We're excited to have him here. He's learning. The truth of the matter, he's gone from not really having a clue about indoor track. One of the things we were talking about even at the conference meet was just learning when you can break in, because otherwise he spent a couple earlier races this season running in lane 3 when he didn't have to be because he didn't know he could come in yet. So indoor track's a whole new thing kind of for him. So, but he's learning quick, and he's a smart guy. So he's learning real quick, and he just gets better and better every week. So, but outdoor track, he's a lot more comfortable on this track than he is on the indoor track right now. But he's learning quickly.
What's going on with Simeon? I know he's entered, but he hasn't been racing for a while. You held him out of the Big Ten meet. How healthy is he going into next week?
Yeah, he picked up a little niggle, but he's doing some light running right now, and we're hoping he's 100%. That was unfortunate timing because we really wanted him to be part of not only what we were doing at Big Tens, but obviously nationally he's going forward. But he's a smart kid and super talented. He knows he's got a bright future, so he knows being cautious is sometimes the right decision.
Is that just part of the bigger plan of, making sure that you're geared towards outdoor season and getting him healthy for that?
Oh, yeah. Well, ultimately, that's what we care the most about is outdoor season. It's, again, we have Hayward Field and that's our thing. So, but he knows that's the real season for track is outdoor track. So he's definitely focused more on that, but he also doesn't want to miss. I mean, he ran a 352 mile this year, and right. He knows he's one of the best milers in the country. He doesn't really want to miss the indoors if he doesn't have to. So
pretty good competitor too.
He's as good as they get when it comes to competing. He can he turns it on and he's ready to go.
I remember asking you at NCAA Outdoors last year, like the confidence that you guys could win a national championship on home turf. I feel like after this last week at Big Tens, the amount of points that you put up in an 18-team conference, which you could say could be an NCAA meet, are you a little bit more confident that this group could get it done on the women's side this next week in Virginia Beach?
Yeah, so the NCAA meet breaks down pretty nicely. I think we're taking 14. We have total 14 entries, 10 entries on the women's side, which is the third most of any program or team going. Arkansas, I think, has 13, which is probably the most, and another team's at 11, I think. So we're right up there with some of the best, and it's a relatively veteran group as well. We have some newbies on the men's side who have not been to a national championship, but on the women's side, the vast majority of our athletes have been to a national championship. So the experience, having a large number of entries, and we have the collegiate record holder in the mile, and she also anchored our collegiate record DMR. So that puts us in a good spot for sure. National championships are hard to win. I think we have a good shot at it, though, and we're going to do everything we can to win. So, our athletes are prepared for that.
What about the men's DMR? I know you guys weren't healthy the last time you ran it, and you kind of had to throw some people in on the fly.
Yeah.
But, just looking at your entries, you got a lot of talent at your disposal. A lot of guys who aren't otherwise participating in the meet.
Right.
Do you feel like that's a team that can maybe make a little noise?
For sure. Elliot got a slow start to the indoor season, and he's a 3:33 guy that finished 8th at the Olympic trials and 2nd at outdoor nationals last year. He's a great guy to have on that relay, and he'll be fresh because he's not running any other events. Again, he started a little behind this indoor season, but he's been getting better every single week as well. So, buying 2 more weeks from the conference meet, I think Elliot will get only better. So that's a good thing for us. The crazy thing is when I looked at the entries that 2 of the 2 348 milers from indoors both scratched the mile, and they'll be fresh on those DMRs as well. So that makes that DMR that DMR is going to be loaded with a lot of talent and a lot of fresh legs. So it should be a very interesting race, but that's what makes it fun. That's going to make it a great race.
Do you expect it to be tactical like it was at Big Ten, or you think those guys are just going to go for it and any of these races?
I have no idea. Yeah, I have no idea. We're going to be prepared for everything. We're already prepared, I think, for fast because obviously we've been in some fast races already and they've performed really well. But we're going to be prepared for tactical as well because you never know how they're going to go and how they're going to play out. So we'll see.
What's more difficult, to prepare for a tactical race or for a fast race?
It's probably more difficult to prepare for tactical because you have to make decisions and one decision can cost you a place, two decisions can cost you two places, and so forth. So you want to make good decisions in the race, whereas when it's just kind of a flat out race, you're kind of getting in a line and you're hoping that your legs match the person's legs that you're competing against. And so I would say probably tactically is the one that's a little bit more complicated.